So let me get my chart up. This is MT4. You can use it on MT5. A couple of things I wanted to show you about standard MT4. Notice that when I made this screen full size, that the charts did not go full size. Also note that when I click on a chart or go into scan mode, it does not follow or track onto any of the other windows. So I have to manually go through and identify multiple time frame analysis using a very rough approximation. Also, when I change symbols on each of these charts, I can't just sit down and click or change the symbol. I have to drag and drop the symbol from the market watch over to the chart layout one at a time. And like I said, if I go to full screen, I have to either go up under window and resize everything, or redraw it. So I have to drag everything down proportionately. And if any of these windows are a different size, then it just really complicates the ability to go and hit the F11 key to go full screen or not. See how quick and easy that is to get full resolution or not. So real estate is important when you're trading. I just wanted to show you a bunch of these features. This is what normal MT4 or MT5 is like. Now I'm going to go and launch MT4 Professional. I have set up a profile that allows me to go up and start and load things from scratch. So I have a default MT4 Professional scanner panel and the chart layout area. And these are all the presets. The presets are the example configurations that we provide you when you subscribe to MT4 Professional. The customs, these are ones that are created by you, or ones that you create your own configuration, or you've copied them from the presets so that you can modify them and change them at any way that you like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull one up and load it and show you what I'm talking about. Notice how the charts are laid out. The chart here on the left, which is a 15-minute, is larger than the two charts over on the right. Notice that the cursor automatically syncs time and price on both all three of my time frames. And if I click it, and it'll stop and freeze so I can do more analysis and kind of look to see where the markets are at the current time. Also, when I hit F11, notice that the charts automatically redraw to the normal scale size. That is just sweet. So I can go in and out of mode and it will shrink or enlarge the scale size proportionally. So everything is set up properly and running. And so the charts are a very important thing. When I click on the symbol list over here on the left, notice the symbol on all the charts and watch them change when I click on one. See that? See how much more responsive and quicker this is than standard MT4. So these are some really good professional grade improvements on a standard platform to help you become a better trader. Not only is the scanner worth its weight in gold, but the ability to do multiple time frame analysis, to analyze your charts all at the same time, and to always have the same configuration set up is priceless. So of course, you can always go in and zoom into a single chart, do your analysis on it, and zoom back out again. You can also change the templates just to see what you're looking at. If you're looking at different types of templates and stuff, you can mess around and kind of play with it just a little bit and move things around. But when you're ready to go back to your regular standard configuration, all you have to do is either reload the configuration or click on any symbol, and it will automatically reset it to the base configuration. So let me show you how to set up and to use your chart configurator so that you always have the charts laid out exactly the way that you want them, and you know how to change them if you want to, and to make them look the way that you want them to look. The first thing that you want to do is you want to create a template. Templates are the basis of the chart layout configurations. So if you already have a template, that means that's the directive that you give to MT4 to tell you what the chart looks like. So If you have a list of templates here, you can use any of these templates. It doesn't really care what templates that you use. There's an alligator template. Any of these templates will work just fine based upon whatever that you're using or working with. So let's go over into select configuration. This is the one that I'm currently using. Click the edit button. And then over on the right is the chart configurator. Notice that the chart configurator has a basic template layout, just exactly like you see on the screen. You have one large window and then two small windows over on the right. Here you can see there's one large window with two small windows on the right. If I wanted to, I could move these around. I could delete them and create new ones. I can just drag and drop these wherever I want. Wherever they end up when you save it, that's how this chart will look like. So it's important that you get it right and to set it just the way that you like it so that it'll always look that way here in the main display. There are two main sections within each chart. You have the time period, which is very easy to select from a pull-down menu. And you have the template that you select from the same pull-down menu. Now, if you have multiple templates loaded, you can have multiple templates show up on your pull-down menu. But if you don't, and you want to change the template, just simply click the plus sign. It opens up a window to the templates area so that you can, again, just scroll through and find the template that you want to use. Any template that you've already created can be interfaced and used with MT4 Professional, so you don't have to worry about any of the settings. So pick the template that you have, or make sure that it's loaded in here. And if you don't have a template made yet, then go ahead and close these windows out, go out to MT4 and create a template, one that looks exactly the way that you want it to look, with all the indicators, all these sub panels, and everything's laid out just the way that you like it. Then use the name of that template right here. So that way you can load it onto your charts. Now you don't have to use the same template for all three windows. You can use different templates for different timeframes. So you're not locked into just a single template. You can use any multiple templates or a different one for every single window. To add or increase windows, you can just simply click the Add Chart window. Notice it says some charts are overlapping. So my big one is here, but I've got a small one that's over here on top of this one. See, so notice that this new one that I created is kind of sitting here in the background. I can add another window and see, notice that it also was created and populated in there. To initiate it, all you have to do is just select a template and make sure that the time frame is correct for what you are interested in. And then if you want these to be tiled, then all you have to do is just select the number of rows or the number of columns that you want them to be tiled in, or whether you want them all to be vertically or horizontally. Or if you just do a default tile, then just simply click Tile Chart Windows, and it will automatically put it where it thinks it should go. Now, it almost always puts the large window over on the right and the smaller windows on the left. So if I were to get rid of one of these, then click that again, then you can see now I have 4 equally spaced windows. If I want it to still have a large window, then I can still do that on my own just by dragging, moving, and dropping it in on the chart the way it's set up. Okay. So this is a 15-minute chart. 30 and hour. This is the way I started out to begin with. So I'll go ahead and cancel this out because I didn't want to save anything. I was just kind of showing it to you. And whenever you're done setting up your chart configuration, always click the Save button. There'll be a check mark here to let you know that it has been saved, and X to close it out. Now, any changes that you've made have not been reflected on the display yet until you click the Load button. Once you click the Load button, any changes that you made to the chart configuration will now be displayed in the chart display area. So are there any questions with regards to setting up a chart, importing or using a template, or using configurations? This is a great time to ask it. All right, then I'll just continue on. Under the configuration window, notice that there is the Create Custom Configurations button. When you would create a new configuration, it'll always pull up all of your current configurations to use as example files. So what it'll do is it creates a working copy of whatever file you select, and will give you the opportunity to rename it, to put it down as something else, or to just change it altogether. But say, for example, you want to use one that has the symbol lists and the scanner, but you just want to change the chart around a little bit. And that's easy to do. So that's why you would want to use the start configuration, because that way you would set it up to use that. So I'll just go ahead and get out of that and remove that, because I don't, I just was using that as an example. So you'd like to set a 10-minute chart. Is it possible? No, the time frame on the charts are a function of MT4 itself. So you don't have the ability to set or to use non-standard timeframes. In MT5 you can, because 10-minute is possible, but not on MT4. Yeah, and I think Claudio replied to that as well, so yes. All right, so let me go back with the configurations. So a little bit more complex configuration here. Let me load this one up and show you. You can see that I've got 4 windows, each of them at different time frames on my charts. And I have 2 windows. These are different sized windows. So I've got 2 smaller windows with 4 larger windows. So it's important for me to make sure that my windows are uniform and they're kept at this same size. And for me, that's important because when I go full screen, then I like to be able to see everything stay the same. And that's the nice feature about the chart layout, is that everything is automatically the same and remains just like that. So that's nice. When you're setting up a chart and you want to change things, like I said, I have this set up as a template. If you don't know how to use templates, then all you have to do is create a chart, any chart that you already are currently using with the indicators on it that you're currently using, and right click on the chart, select template, and save template to make sure that it is saved on your computer. Once it's saved on your computer, then we have access to it through the configurator. Now, since MT4 Professional is cloud-based, you also have access to all of these configurations through the cloud. So if you are traveling and you go somewhere and you need to pull up a chart specific from a configuration you already have set up, then you can pull up any of these creations that you've done, or even the presets from the cloud, and they will load on your remote desktop. If, however, you're using, if you want to change things remotely, then the profiles or the templates that you have on your computer won't be available to you unless you currently have them in a configuration, because only the configurations are backed up and stored in the cloud. So you don't have all of your MT4 profiles done that way, only the configuration files. One other thing I wanted to point out is that any of the presets that we have here will load up and will display on your screen. But if you don't have a template on your computer made from these things, then you won't be able to pull that template up off of your computer either. So I recommend that when you create a brand new configuration, and I'll just go ahead and just do an example right now, create a configuration, and I'll go through the presets as an example, and I'll use this alligator here as an example. Then it gives a name, so you always want to give a name. Give it a good description so when you come back, you'll be able to pull it back in. And when you go into the items, then the alligator template might not be on your computer. So when you go to reload it, it might or might not load. It'll only load from the cloud. So if you want to save this to your computer, then the easy way to do it is to go ahead and save the file and then load. Once you load the new configuration, this is the alligator new example, the one I just created. Once you have it displayed, then right click on the chart, select template, and then save template. And the save template will give you the ability to give it a name and to save it on your local computer so you can use it even in standard MT4 or anywhere on MT4 Professional. And then you'll be able to use it and pull it into any other configuration that you want. And it won't only just be in this configuration. All right, so that's pretty sweet. Other questions then I might be able to help you with. With regards to the chart configurator. Now, drawing objects, if you like to use trend lines, then trend lines are the same on any chart. You can draw trend lines. You can set them up to do. You can do horizontal lines. You're not limited in any way the way that you normally would be using your MT4 setup.